Hello, YouTube land, and welcome back to the Chaos Asylum. I am your host, the Chosen One, Lee White, and today I am going to be telling you guys my life story, basically, type of deal, and things I've went through, the good times, the bad times, and there's going to be some things where I talk about like bullying and suicide, which is two things that are not lightly talked about, or lightly, like, it's kind of touchy for people. So if you guys don't want to watch because of, like, those things, and they would offend you or make you feel emotional, I'm sorry, I apologize. You don't have to watch the rest of it from here. My hair is being funky and whatnot, but I appreciate you stopping by. So let's start. And this isn't me trying to offend anybody or make anybody feel bad or anything like that. So I was born February 27th, 1986. And I'll tell you what, when I was born, like, wow. I came out and I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my throat. And it's just crazy, right? Like, you come into the world and you're about to die. Lovely. So they, got that in time, obviously. The umbilical cord got wrapped around my throat. It was gone. And then they found out I had yellow jaundice. So then I had to stay in the hospital for a little while, and the way my mom described it to me, I looked like a movie star. Just laying out on the beach with my sunglasses on, just getting a tan. And I got over that. And then let's fast forward to when I was about, I think, 6 or 7, and my family is very religious, and I have 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and we all are stepbrothers and sisters. Like, one sister, one brother is from my mom, and then the other 3 are from my dad. I'm from my mom and dad smashed together. So there we go. But you wouldn't be able to tell that we're stepbrother and sisters, because we love each other and we're always there. We have a big family, and yeah, I'm getting off track. I apologize. So my family is very religious. We're Christians. We were brought up Christian. So we'd go to church every week. Yay. And, like, young Lee was always excited. Yeah, let's go to church, because I guess it was just fun for me. I'm just running around like a goofball with my head cut off, like a chicken with my head cut off. Yee! So then one night I decide to run in and out a door that is made of nothing but glass. It's closed and I'm running in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. What happens? It grabs my left arm. It slingshots me through the door, and I'm lucky enough it didn't break. The glass didn't break. It just broke my arm. So, I scratched my head. I'm sorry. Close up, Mr. Denaire. I'm only working with one arm, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. And I basically got slingshotted through the door, and I broke my arm. So I ended up going to the hospital, and they put a cast on, and I broke my arm pretty bad. So now I have pins and stuff in my arm. My arm, basically, you might as well say I'm like Wolverine over here. Yay! The left arm that I'm holding the phone with now has, metal in it. It's always fun going through a metal detector with it. So then, the funny thing about that is, when I was younger, my dad always slept in the afternoons because he worked midnight shifts. My mom worked during the afternoon, to kind of help Dad cover bills and food and stuff. And, so the cast was getting itchy, so I'm like itching. Then somehow I ripped the cast off, and I'm like, Dad, I can't get it back on. And he's like, what? And then we're trying to get it back on. He's like, oh, God. So then we had to go to the hospital, and they put another cast on. And then there's another time, too, where I was a little kid, and we were all playing outside, and I almost died. If it wasn't for my brother, thank him. I love my family. I love him. And basically what we were doing, we were taking these crab apples, I think they're called, and we were just throwing them. And then we ran out, and I seen some in the middle of the road. Young Lee, again, it's like, oh, good idea. Let's go get those ones. So I run out in the middle of the road. Cars coming blaring down the road. And John sees this. He sees me out in the road. He runs, knocks me out of the way. He gets hit by a car, goes flying in the air like Superman, hits the ground, skids across the ground. This man, I swear to this day to me, he's like Superman. He got hit with going like 50 miles per hour, I believe, if I remember correctly. And he flew in the air a good 5 feet, I think. Hit the ground pretty hard and skidded. I mean, like legit, or skidded across the ground. And he just looked at everybody. They're like, "You okay? You okay? You okay?" And he's like, He just was like, "I want to get up. I want to get up," and no one would let him get up. And then he went to the hospital. And the one thing I remember from that day is that he was in the hospital, and I heard him screaming, and it scared me. And I was like, "What are they doing to John? Like, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be in this predicament." And I thank him every day for like saving my life, because that's not the only time he saved my life too. There were some kids at a pool that pushed me into the pool, and I didn't know how to swim, and John jumped in and saved me, my brother. So that was pretty awesome of him too. Um, and then I kind of like skipped over this, I didn't, and whatnot, not intentional, but like when I was born in '86, my grandfather, uh, and whatnot, he was a I didn't really get to know him much. He basically, from what I'm told, is like me. I have his personality. I have like a lot of traits that he has, like my dark hair, dark eyes, and he played an American Bandstand back in the day. I guess it would be the equivalent of playing like on The Voice. I'm assuming. Um, Maybe I'm not sure. But what he did, he played the harmonica and he played like a lap guitar. It's like a six string. And I was told also he could put a record on and he would play it and play it, and he would listen to it and then learn it and then cover it, like you would on YouTube. So like he was doing stuff like that before YouTube was even existed and whatnot. And I have the same trait as my grandfather, and he would be able to take a lyric and spin it in his own image and make it still sound good with the tune, you know, um, which was pretty cool. And I want to here soon do the same thing. I want to learn how to play guitar, put his initials on that guitar, and it'll be like I'm playing guitar with my grandfather again. But he passed away when I was like one, and every time someone talks about him, I get really emotional. Because I wish I knew him. Like I knew him when I was a baby and I was one, but I didn't get to know him. Know him. Like a funny story I get told a lot is my dad and him took me out for chocolate ice cream, and then I had a new outfit that Grandma and him got me, and I came back and I was covered in head to toe in chocolate ice cream, and Dad and Grandpa got yelled at, and from what I'm told, and it's like wow, yeah, yeah, it's crazy, and I miss him a lot. And then we fast forward again to when we were younger. We moved a lot, moved around a lot when we were kids. Um, so like for an example, you know how like you would stand up in class and you're new and you'd be like, "Hello, my name is da 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 da. I'm this old and whatnot." And you're like, nice to meet everybody. I'm from this area." I would do that, but then I would add in, "Hello, my name is Lee. I am from Columbus, Ohio, and it's nice to meet you all, but I know I'm gonna move, so there's no sense in me just making friends." So then I would just sit back down and and just be like, okay, because we moved around a lot. Now I didn't get bullied when I was a kid. Like all the schools I went to was great. I had fun. There's this one time where we had a Halloween costume party, and we excuse me, we got to dress up as anything. So then we got to dress up like whatever. I just said that. Uh oh. And then I decided to dress up like Freddy Krueger. I had everything down to a T for Freddy Krueger. And then I got home. We used latex, and I guess we forgot to put something in there, and like it would not come off. And um, so we had to scrub and scrub and scrub, and my face was a beet red. And then also, then there's that. And then, of course, this is where the bullying starts. We move. No, I'm sorry, I'm going too far ahead. We moved to a place called Salem, Ohio, where we had a lot of family. I went to school there for a bit, and then our house burned down. So then we moved to not a mall, a hotel for a little while. And I went to a school called West Branch, Ohio. And this is where I met my best friend that I am still friends with today. And we've known each other for 21, 22 years, maybe more. We're great friends. We know everything about each other. And I met him. It was just kind of funny. Really, hey man, what's up? Da 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 da. And then we just instantly clicked. We became best friends. We always hung out on the shooting basketball. I always went over to his house. He came over to my place. We always chilled, had fun, and it was cool. And then I finally had to move away from West Branch, and it kind of sucked. And I had to go to this one place called Sebring, Ohio. Now, Sebring, Ohio is one of those little places where if you don't have a certain name, you didn't matter to people. So I went in there and just got picked on and picked on. And the reason why is because, one, I was short, like legit. I was like a hobbit before a hobbit was a hobbit, before like the Lord of the Rings were a thing back then. So I was very short. And I got picked on for that. Then my mom got into security work. She had beautiful long hair and she had to shave it off. So then she looked like a dude and then got, called all kinds of names. My dad was gay. And then that's when the dark clouds started coming over my head. And then for a long time getting picked on and thrown into trash. And then I'm sorry I look away. I'm just like trying to think like all the things that are so much. And then, just bullying and like daily. And like, there's this one time also where I got jumped from behind just for their amusement. And I got punched and kicked and I had a bloody nose and I had, bruised ribs and whatnot. And then I was afraid to tell mom and dad what happened because I knew if I would, it would just make it worse and whatnot. So I did, and then of course it made it worse, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then there's this one time someone drew a picture of a trash can and it put Lee's house on it and whatnot, and that hurts, like seeing that stuff. And then I'll admit, when we were kids, we were poor, like I mean poor to the point to where we barely ate half the time. The only time we ate was like at lunch at school or breakfast in the morning. We actually would have to like wear the same clothes and like shoes and stuff from the previous year, even though if they were holy or looking like they were talking, we had to because there was no money coming in for that kind of stuff. And then there came the whole more picking on because of that and whatnot, and then the school looking at you and go, oh, you wore that 2 days in a row. Let's get you some laundry here, and you can do laundry here. It's like, no, I have that at home. Like, what? I'm like, there's a kid that's been wearing a hoodie, the same hoodie for a week, but you're not on him. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. And then like, oh, you smell. Because like people are very rude and whatnot. And then they're like, oh, well, we've had complaints of you smelling, so we should, you should take a shower here. I'm like, I take a shower at home, thank you. And then they would like have like a wash rag and soap like in like the cubby where my name was, and just laugh about it and have be embarrassed in front of the class. It's just bad. It like, to me, it felt like waking up to a nightmare constantly going to school, and it was not pleasant. And if it was, that's how exactly it was. It was a nightmare to me. So then I actually one time got so mad that I actually committed a crime because like I let my anger take over, and I went into the back not thinking, and I poured gasoline on a shed that we had, and I caught it on fire. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just reacted, and I got community service for it, and I didn't go to jail or anything, and that's wiped clean now. Um, I think I just lashed out because I couldn't take it, and then that just kept getting piled on, and it felt like the cloud was getting darker and darker and darker, and Even though I was surrounded by so much love, it felt like that cloud was just overpowering the love. And I knew where my brother's gun was, and I grabbed it. I took it off to safety. I pointed it to my head, and I closed my eyes, and I pulled the trigger, and it clicked. And I was like, okay. And I pulled it again, click, click, click. And then he saw that, and then he knocked it out of my hand. And then he was asking what I was doing, and he dropped the clip, and there was a full clip. And in all honesty, like, how is it that a gun with the safety off, with a full clip, one in the chamber, there's no humanly possible way that 3 bullets are blank. So then I knew then and there, I guess I was worth something. I guess I was meant to be here for something, to do something, to mean something to someone. And then my senior year came around. And I told myself, well, you know what? I'm going to go all out this year. So I went into a play. I did Oklahoma. And it was great. I had fun. Now, I know it's going up and down, right? Like I said, it's going to be cloudy. It's dark and, whatever. And some light. And like, doing the play was, like, fun. It, like, helped me relax and whatnot. And before I jump too far ahead, you guys were like, well, why didn't you do anything, with the whole bullying thing? Well, when I was a kid, I'm not going to lie, I was very shy. I never stuck up for myself. I let them beat me down physically and mentally. And I just let that happen. And then my senior year, I did my, the play, and then I was in class one day. It was home ec, I believe, or the one thing where you get the A and you take care of it your senior year. I don't know what it's called, that class, but they were picking on me again and going, "Oh, Lee, you're gay, you're this, you're that," and then I was like, you know what? I'm like, just shut up. I'm like, my God, I just lashed out, and everybody's like. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I just lashed out and said some things and whatnot. Everybody got quiet, and the teacher came back in, and she's like, what happened? And nobody would say anything. Like, it was so quiet that, like, you could hear a pin drop. It was crazy. And then, like, my grandmother, oh my God. My grandma that was, like, married to my grandfather. She was the best grandma a kid could have. Like, oh, I loved her so much. Like, I knew she missed Grandpa as much as me. Heck, even more. And whatnot. And, like, on days like Mother's Day or a Valentine's Day, I would, like, one year I took her out on Valentine's Day. I dressed up. I pretty much dressed up, and I looked like I was going on a date. And I asked Grandma if she wanted to go on a date. She said yes. So we went, and we had fun. I pulled out the chair. I got her food for her to drink and everything like that. Same thing for Mother's Day. And I just loved Grandma a lot. I feel like I could tell her anything and everything. And she was always there. And then we fast forward, and we get the tragic call that Grandma doesn't have much time to live. This is the part where it gets hard. And that dark cloud that I thought went away starts creeping its little head back out again. And they told us that we had to, like, come see her and say goodbye. And, like, just remembered all the good, oh God, all the good things that she's done. She took us in when we had nowhere to go, and oh God, I just loved that woman so much. And she passed away, like, maybe a week after we seen her. And I miss her every day. Every day I miss her. But I know that I had to let her go because I couldn't be stingy to Grandpa. Because he's been waiting for her for a very long time, and I told her basically that I would keep going and that it's okay to go because I know Grandpa's waiting for you. So, and you've been waiting for him for a long time, and he's been waiting for you. So go ahead and go. And she did. So I'm glad that she's in heaven. If you believe there's a heaven and a hell, pardon my French, and now I believe that she's up there with him and whatnot. And I actually also lost a brother of mine tragically too. Um, almost like a week before Christmas. It was sad. Like at times I feel like death is following me. Like it's crazy. Um, I apologize. Excuse me. And whatnot. Like I kid you not, because like I said in the beginning, I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my throat, yellow jaundice. And then also one thing I forgot when I was a kid also is when I was a kid I had the flu really bad, and I was medical. I was put in the hospital, and I was on heart monitor and stuff like that. Excuse me, and my mom had to tell me this. It's creepy because I don't remember this, and she said she was there, and the heart monitor went beep, 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 and it flatlined for some reason. She said like all of them are scattered into my room trying to see what's going on, and then right when they got, I think the things are called the defibrillators, I believe, and the doctor said clear. It was like knee beep, beep, beep. I'm like, wow, I didn't know this. Like mom told me that was crazy. Uh, this is wow. And then let's fast forward to not long ago, and then I finally meet Cody again, and we reconnect and whatnot because he moved away, I moved away, and now we're like in the present day. So me and Cody, we get to hang out as much as we want. I don't think he minds me saying this, and whatnot, as much as we can. Me and him's been buddies, like I said, for a very long time, and basically what's going on with me now is I've met so many cool people in my life, and I've met so many interesting people also, and I love it because I love meeting new people. And like me getting older, I feel like all that stuff that's happened to me happened for a reason, and that it's just a test to see how much you can take. And I'm glad that I was tested like that, and I'm glad because if you fail at something, it's only going to make you stronger, and then okay, I did this wrong, so now I should do this, and whatnot, right. But yeah, I'm glad I've met a lot of people. There's some cool people in my life. A lot of people, like someone from Canada. I'm not going to mention names, excuse me, but people like from Canada that I know that are pretty cool. Some people from the UK I know that are very cool, and are really close friends of mine. And just, it seems like I know people all around the world. I'd love to travel someday, um, and I'm glad. But basically, I just did this to, you know, just to do. And I just want to leave a little message before I go. Basically, I want everyone to know that things we say, okay, can make an impact in people's lives in ways we don't know, because we don't know what they're going through. Like say you'll say a little joke and whatnot. Besides, a sword or a knife or a bullet going, deep, your words can cut deep too. And just make sure that you know what you're saying before you say it, because you don't want to hurt somebody to draw them to doing something they're going to regret, like suicide or anything like that. And I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope that a video like this reaches somebody that is going through a hard time, because another thing too, I kind of want to show that me going through so many things have made me a stronger person. And whatnot in life, and to never give up, and to not let people tell you that you can't do it, or you're not worth it, or that, they don't love you. If no one said that they loved you today, well, guess what? I know you don't know me, but I love you. You are worth something. Go for your dreams, no matter how big or how small they are. Always go for it. Don't let anybody ever tell you you can't, because you can. You could be the next president. You could be the next, great artist out there. The next great, music talent. You could be anything you want. Just don't ever creep down that little dark hallway and do something you're going to regret. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around for this long, because I know it's a long video. And like I said, I hope this video reaches you in time to help you out and show that, someone that has got picked on, someone that's almost committed suicide, is still here. And he's a stronger person. And this goes out to any male, female, or anybody that's going through anything that's tragic in your life. Keep going. Never give up. So guys, I'm not going to do my outro because this is a serious video. So thank you all for stopping by. Love you all. See you later. Never give up.